he's fucking got now on, mate, throwing $100 bills about on the bed. So like 2 days earlier, I was at the front like nearly fighting with Mags and getting bit by a horse, and then I was on the bench again. I'll never forget it as a young lad, getting like coin thrown at you and spat on in a proper atmosphere. First thing you get taught to say as a kid, who'd you love, Sunderland, who'd you hate? The fucking Mags. For the first 4 or 5 years at Sunderland, it was just like,
still on this
you won the lottery every day just going in, I was buzzing to clean the boots, and just like I didn't have to buy a ticket for the match on the Saturday. It's lovely. Anyway, the 2 tattoo blokes come out, what you after? I said I want just 3 letters put on my ball sack. With Bradford struggling mid-table bottom half, to play against Panathinaikos in my debut. Horse has just latched its full mouth round my head. Right? You haven't got the Sunderland accent though, mate. I'm like, well, I've got FTM with me Tezzies. You know what I mean?
If that's not showing commitment to the cause,
You know what I mean? So like I say, it's instilled in you.
So Ramsden, how are we doing?
Good. You?
Good. Yeah. Heard quite a bit.
We're
Tales.
a bit fluffy, aren't we, me and Johnny?
Yeah, we had a couple of pints last night, didn't we?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
You look good.
Yeah. Oh,
You look a lot similar to what you did yesterday, actually. Almost as if you've got exactly the same clothes on.
We said that this morning. He went, "I've changed my t-shirt though." It's irrelevant.
I've changed my underpants. Fresh.
There you go.
We've not seen the testicles yet, have we?
No, we had Mark Bircham on the other week, and he's hardcore QPR fan, but apparently, so I've been told, you're Sunderland through and through.
Just a little bit high, as you can see, a few tattoos, but the Tezzies was one of my better decisions. Like.
you still stand by it?
One of the best I've ever done, And to be fair, it's fading a bit now because it was like 7 years ago, so I probably could do with a top-up line.
A top-up?
Nah, it was, yeah.
You don't
decision.
stop growing the Tezzies either, so it'll be an italic by the time you're 80.
Yeah, Birchie supported QPR. He was big, but you're the biggest fan we've had on. Biggest fan of a football club.
I've
said this.
I would say it's a rarity. Like obviously, all the clubs I've played at, you get like lads who are, I don't know, I support Man U or I support whatever, but they don't. Whereas I literally, when I signed for Sunderland, it was like I'd won the fucking competition or something. Do you know what I mean? Like I actually had a season ticket when I got a contract for them. So to me, I've never really changed with that either. Like it's just in you, innit? It's like when I retire, I've got a season ticket again now. It's just played my career and then.
See, I did. I mean, I had a season ticket before, but when I left, I was a bit bitter and a bit fuck off. Yeah, and I did, if people ask, I do look for the results, and I am a Sunderland fan. But you're hardcore.
Oh, to be honest, I'm a bit more like you now. Like I would say, the last year or so, I'm not as. I don't know whether it's just at the minute with no crowd.
The club is.
That costs a shite.
Probably doesn't help, like, does it? Do you know what I mean? You're going and you're thinking, fuck me, we've got beat again in League One or whatever. It doesn't help, does it? But I would say now changed for me. Like when the fixtures come out, whatever club I played at, I always looked at Sunderland before fucking whoever I was at, or when we got the mags or whatever. It's just my life from being.
When did you get all tattoos done?
So, well, the first one I got a Sunderland one on my back. Then I got my knackers done.
Said it so flippantly.
As you do. But my cousin, I used to go to all the matches with him. So basically, he passed away a couple of years ago. So I started off with, right, let's get some things that mean stuff to me. So it's not just like random shit. So it's like my first ever programme at Roker Park. Me and him went to Wembley, 92. Wise Men Say, which is the Sunderland song, but I put Wise Men Say, fuck the Mags. As you do.
You got to add a bit of tax on, ain't you?
Yeah. Gabbiadini scoring against the Mags, which is like my favourite goal of all time. We went to Wembley and what else? The old sponsor. Well, I'm not stripping off. All sorts of shit, so yeah.
Howie, get the plums in.
I'll get the Tezzies on.
This is the first, isn't it?
It is.
This is the first.
Are you playing this out like?
Aye.
Must be sewer when they're doing it.
Do you know what? It wasn't that bad. Like, I'd had a few vodkas, like. I'd had about 2 or 3, but I would say I've got my daughter on my shin, and I reckon that was on my shin bone was worse than my Tezzies. Like, yeah.
When did you get that? When did you get them done?
Fuck, it took a while. Like, it probably took about 6 months or so to get it all.
No,
like,
when did you get the balls done?
On my stag do in Vegas.
So where are you in your career at that point?
Motherwell. So it was about, I can't even think what year I got married, about 2013 or so. Aye.
So you played for multiple clubs, but still Sunderland fan.
That'll never change. It's like I live back in Sunderland now, but when I was a kid, my dad got a job in a place called Newton Aycliffe. You won't have heard this, but it's like 20 minutes from here. So it pisses me off. I'm the only one in my whole family who wasn't born in Sunderland. So like me nanas, me aunties, me uncles, me sisters, me mum, dad. But my father ended up getting a fucking job 20 minutes away, and I got born in Bishop Auckland. So even now, when I'm at the Sunderland match, they're like, you haven't got the Sunderland accent, no, mate. I'm like, well, I've got FTM with me Tezzies. Have you got the fuck out? Do you know what I mean?
If that's not showing commitment to the cause, I don't know what it is.
So like I say, it's instilled in you. Like, it's just that everyone talks about what beer in it, Brownie. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if Sunderland's doing well, everyone's just happy. It's just life, I suppose.
Is the hatred for Newcastle real then?
Completely, mate. Like, aye. I really dislike them with a passion.
See, I can't fathom that art, me. Like, I can't get my head around, like, even sort of Man U, Man City, the hatred between them, or Liverpool, Everton. I can't get my head around why you'd waste your energy on it.
I know what you're saying, and like what you were saying, when you play footy, you should sort of like go the other way. But I'm worse now, actually. I think. Like, I don't know. It's just where I lived in Newton Aycliffe. It's not like in Sunderland. It's just Sunderland fans generally. 99% Sunderland fans. So you don't mix with Newcastle fans really, or like when you're in your Manchesters and whatever. But where I lived in Newton Aycliffe, it was 50-50 in our school of Sunderland, Newcastle, and it was that time when Keegan was manager, and they're fucking going to win the league on whatever they were doing at that time, beating Barcelona's, and it's in your face all the time. Do you know what I mean? And like, because all my family are diehards, it's just first thing you get taught to say as a kid: who do you love, Sunderland? Who do you hate? The fucking Mags. It's just in you, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know, and I've never changed from that. Like,
must have been buzzing when they fucked up then.
Oh, that was a shame, aye. I know what you're saying though, because some people probably think, is he like? Can you be like that? But I am, aye.
Because I'm not.
Yeah. No, that's it. Not everyone is. There's not many that played footy, to be honest. But
a lot of there's a big rivalry. Did you know you were going to get your tattoo? Was it planned, or was it just spur of the moment?
Well, I knew I was going to get a tattoo. But what happened was, we went on my stag do, and about 3 weeks before that, 3 or 4 weeks, I was at Motherwell and Sunderland played the Mags away. Remember the DiCanio game when he done the knee slide?
Yeah.
And we beat them 3-0. So a few of the lads on my stag do, like, do you remember the song? Like, it was like, Paolo Di Can, that one. I Want Dirty Knees too was the end of the song. So we got to Vegas, and a couple of lads who came with us, first night we're all steaming, whatever, different places split up, and they've turned up the next day. One of them has got I Want Dirty Knees too tattooed across his thighs, because he's Sunderland daft as well. So I thought, I need to step this up, like, I'm not
it's my fucking stag do this.
And I remember I was thinking like I'm going to go for it, like. So initially I thought, well, I'm getting married in a couple of weeks, I can't really get out on my face or my neck or out. I probably could, but I thought, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to go for the Tezzies, like. So anyway, I wasn't steaming, but I knew I was going for it to get it on my Tezzies. Went to the tattoo shop. Can't remember what hotel. It was in one of the big hotels anyway, with Dean Shields. So we've gone in. I said, like, it's not like where you got a book over here. I just went in and said, I want a tattoo. No bother. So anyway, the two tattoo blokes come out, what you after? I said, I want just 3 letters putting on my ball sack. And like, these Yanks are like, yo dude, and all this, like, they weren't going to do it. So they were like, nah, I'm not touching your cock or your Tezzies and that, I'm not doing it. I said, mate, trust me, I'm not leaving here until you put FTM straight on these. And he was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I said, I don't care how much it costs. Anyway, we're back and forth. And in the end, I had to pay treble to get 3 letters on. I can't, it was something daft like fucking, I don't know, say $300 or $400 or whatever it was. I don't know, just for 3 letters because I wasn't going to move without them doing it like. So Dino said, I said, we are going to have to get something like. I said, why don't you get like something random? He said, I'll get your lips on my arse. So this lass behind the counter's got like lipstick. I'm having to put my lips on this bit of paper so they can put it on his arse to tattoo it. So he's like, from me and you, he's there. Anyway, he shit it. He went, I'm not having your lips on, got these fucking cartoon lips on. So anyway, he got that, and so I'm sat there. So these lads are fuming that they've got to like touch my Tezzies like. So I'm like holding my shaft up. I've got a photo of this. They've put like kitchen roll behind my head to keep my head up, and like one of them's like got these gloves and spreading it, and I just straight on with FTM like.
One of them spreading it.
So it's a 2-man job.
It was a 3. I held the shaft up. And
I love that word.
shaft. And then I'll have to dig the photo out. It's class like.
Have you done any research on the pain levels, or were you just not?
No, to be fair, I do like pain like. So I thought, let's see what it's like. But it wasn't that bad.
You know, it's like when you get a flick on them or whatever. Or
I know, but nah.
It's a sensitive area.
I've had worse, definitely.
But you're happy with it?
Over the moon. Aye. Yeah. Definitely. Buzzing with it. I think half of Sunderland seen it, to be honest. Every time I'm steaming, like, fuck,
you try get them out, yeah.
Fuck them mags, aye.
It must have leveled your status in the Sunderland fan pecking order.
I don't know, but fucking hell. No, it was good. Good
I
trip,
remember
that, like.
seeing you at I think with that St James's, it was a definite derby game. But you had your Ramsden.
That was a good night.
So it was your old kit.
Do you know the story? The story behind that was, I was at Grimsby, and it was at a time when fucking the kit woman probably would have got a game ahead of me. You know, when the managers just basically changed his formation, and I just wasn't going to get a look in. So Sunderland were playing Newcastle on the Sunday, and Grimsby were playing Newcastle in the Cup on the Tuesday. So we're playing them like 2 days later on Sky and all that. So games finished on the Saturday, sub. I thought, in case they say I'm in tomorrow, fuck this, quick in the shower and just do one, so then you can just pretend like... different if I was playing on the Tuesday, you've just got to do what you've got to do and you're in, aren't you? But I thought, I'm not going to play on the Tuesday, and I'm not missing the mags away, fuck that. So, shower away. Obviously the lads were in the next day, weren't they? But I just pretended that I didn't fucking know. So, went out all night, too excited for the match and that. And, fuck it, go on me strip like. So went through in the metro, and I think we got beat 3-2 that day, didn't we?
It was when Liam and Stevie Elliott's
hell of a game. 2-1 up. Yeah, anyway, that Emre scored a free kick, didn't he? And that's a game. So I came out, and obviously when you come out of St James's, all the fans are trying to get at each other and stuff. So we were like right down the front, and fucking horse. Remember when the horse bit me? Not know that story.
No.
Horse has just latched its full mouth round my head, right? Like, but to be fair, it didn't dig its teeth in. It was just like sucking on my head, right? And it's like, honestly, all the lads still piss themselves now. Like fucking Hacky and Dino and all that. Like, this horse just fucking latched on my head. So then that was that. Went into training the next day. Gaffer obviously knew how much I love Sunderland. He was like, good scouting mission yesterday, like. He was all right, to be fair. He didn't say no.
Who was the manager then?
Russell Slade. And then Tuesday night I was on the bench against the Mags. So like 2 days earlier, I was at the front like nearly fighting with Mags and getting bit by a horse, and then I was on the bench against them on the Tuesday night. But no, it was, good crack.
Latched onto my head.
Yeah, it did. Just sucked. Like, I was thinking, I'm knackered here, like, dug in, but it didn't.
So you right at the front wanting a bit?
Well, so, some of the characters who I've been brought up with or go to the matches, like I say, it's the biggest game of the season, so it just... But yeah, we were...
You getting involved in your Sunderland kit?
Possibly, with me strip on eye. As you do.
Have you got the jumper on and the t-shirt over the top?
I can't remember. I can't even remember which strip it was. I just remember, I know it was one of the ones that...
Was he squad number 32? It was.
I had a few different. It was 30 something at that season.
So it'll have been your squad number from 2 years previous
maybe.
or something.
That's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
There can't be many players.
It's a well-trained horse, by the way.
I know.
Yeah,
I was thinking
And
that.
not
Sucked off by an horse.
Yeah.
But as a Sunderland fan coming through, because that was the glory. As a Sunderland fan, it was a glory years, wasn't it, for me as well? When the Reedy was in charge, I don't know if you were in the youth team then. You know, when we finished 7th.
Yeah. Well, I just sort of like was on the verge. I was in the Resis then, and sort of training with the first team squad when we finished 7th. But before then, like I said before, I had a season ticket as a sign for them. So we left Roker Park. I had a season ticket, and then like 2 weeks later was my first days of YT. So I remember we're all in the digs, and Peter Reedy used to come round maybe once a week, just put his head in and just check everyone's like all right. But to me, it wasn't Gaffer, it was fucking Reedy, innit? Like, I'm not a player, I've won this competition, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, so he's come in and he's got into teletext in them days checking, I can't remember what he was checking, some scores or something, and the lads are all shit in the pants, like, daren't say now because the manager's there. They went, Rammers, are you going to say something? I went, how are you getting on, Reedy? Mate, honestly, he was like, what did you fucking call me? I went, Reedy. And he's fucking said, you ever call me that again? The lads are like, fucking. So like all the next like week or two, like I was on Lee Clark's boots, Mickey Grill, and then we're like, all right, Reedy, just fucking hammering me. Like, but you just, like I say, because I'm a fan, I sort of totally forgot where I was at. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you meant to be, he was fucking fuming, like. But that time, like you say, it's the best time as a Sunderland fan in God knows how long. Finishing 7th, beating everyone in the Premier League. It was unreal. Quinn and Phillips up front, and
must have been amazing for you as the fan that you are, being around.
It was.
The dream.
Yeah, it was. I was living the dream. It was like, I would say it took me till I was about 26 or so to think, oh, actually I need to like screw the nutty and actually it's a career, like, because for the first 4 or 5 years at Sunderland it was just like
you're still on this
you won the lottery every day, just going in, just I was buzzing to clean the boots and just like I didn't have to buy a ticket for the match on the Saturday and stuff, like it was just it was class.
So you probably, would you say that you didn't really concentrate on your football because you were that excited that you were just there?
Possibly. Like, don't get me wrong, I was like captain of the youth team at the time and doing really well, and like I wasn't there like just out of luck. I was all right, like, you know, I was holding my own. Broke into the reserves, doing well, and I think it was the second season when we finished 7th again. I came back I was always like one of the fittest, kept myself right, and I remember first day pre-season we used to do the 4-lapper. Can you remember that? Were you?
I never really.
You never do it?
Nah.
It was basically first day you do 4 laps of the whole training ground, and it was to see who'd been tossing it off over the summer or whatever. I think I come second. So Reedy or Gaffer is like, fucking, you've got half a chance, son, if you're doing that. And then following week they went to France, and he took me like as a young lad. So there was only me and I think George McCartney possibly. There was like a few youngish lads. Tommy Butler got a chance, and we went to France with the first team, and I played all pre-season. We played Celtic away, came on in that, and I thought, do you know what, I'm on the verge here. And then they signed a lad, Bernd Haas,
a Swiss fella.
Yeah, and it's mad how like things happen. So they signed him. So Reedy said to me, "Oh, you go away." I think Ricky Sprazier, who was like our old youth team manager, you go away and get a game with them because Bernd Haas is going to play 90 minutes. I think it was away at West Brom or somewhere. You go and play with them. Because you're not going to play. So I went, right, no bother. I went down there, fucking snapped my ankle ligaments. And you're thinking like,
you're on the cusp.
I was like, it was the dream, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, if I hadn't have started, Bernd Haas was starting, and I might have been on the bench in the Premier League. Or
you'd have been in the squad. You'd have been
100%. And I always remember fucking Ricky fucking laughed when I snapped my ankle ligaments. And you think that's fucking
why?
He was just like that, mate. He was just, I don't know. I know it's old school and. I don't know, just the way they weren't. It's not like nowadays you couldn't get away with fuck all, could you?
Yeah.
Like, it's so regimental and rules for this, rules for that. But I remember he was like bitter that I'd went away with the first team for that pre-season, as if to say, "Oh, who do you think you are now?" So that was the attitude, sort of thing.
Surely
he should be buzzing. That one of his younger lads
I've done my job.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And the other coaches were spot on. Like Jed, Matt and me was well done, Rama, Pop Robson, but Rick, I remember we were playing, I don't know, it was just like pre-season friendly down London somewhere. And I snapped my ankle ligament, so he was laughing. Like, I'll never forget that. Like,
is this in the changing room after the game? So you're, while he's still on the pitch?
While I was on the pitch. So I think the physios come on, and I was like in bits, crutches a lot, obviously after the match, and he was laughing. But
surprises that.
Shite, that, isn't it?
That's worse than shite.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's horrendous.
You must have been devastated.
Oh, I was, and do you know what? I would say I lost the plot a little bit after that, because that was my first serious sort of injury at that age.
How long were you out for?
About 3 months or so. Started going out probably a bit too much because, like you say, you're not playing, and maybe I was a little bit bitter. That I thought, do you know what? That was my chance to. Whereas I should have maybe looked at it the other way and thought, I'll just get your head back down and
come back stronger, kind of.
Should have done, really. And you look back, but like the other injured lads, like at the time, you're going out with them, and look, shit happens. And
were you in the digs still then?
No, I'd moved out then.
How come you were in digs if you're local?
Because like I say, I lived in Newton Aycliffe, which was like, it's about half an hour, 40 minutes from Sunderland. I couldn't drive, I was 16, and when you just leave school, so even if you live locally, the club wanted you in the digs to keep an eye on you, I suppose.
It's been a good experience, that, though.
Unbelievable.
Good crap.
It was carnage. Yeah, it was class.
How many's in the digs?
There must have been 16, 18 of us, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You there?
I just used to go random nights. So like random Friday night, yeah. I think it was frowned upon. Like, I don't think I was welcomed, because obviously I lived 15 minutes away. So the only reason I was going was just get involved.
Involved with what?
Get involved in the crack.
In the carnage.
The thing with Sunderland, was it one of them places where if you went out, everyone knew about it? The club would find out about it?
Possibly. It's like, because it's all everyone lives for. They pretty much, like, if you're any of the first team, you're out in Sunderland, you get spotted instantly. But younger lads, I suppose, some people would maybe know you. You get away with it, I think.
Yeah.
So that when you start going out too much, do you think the club are finding out?
Possibly.
He's out again, and you know.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. It's like, it's a fine line, isn't it, of luck and right time, right place. And if I hadn't have gone down there, but you can't be bitter about it. Do you know what I mean? It's just how it is. And I managed to get back that season-ish playing again in the reserves, and just never got back looking with the first team. And they finished 7th, and then I went on loan that following pre-season.
When we had Mickey Gray on, he said they used to get the youth team lads involved with the Christmas dues. Was that why you were there?
It was Deitch as well, wasn't it? Him and Danny Deitch, they used to hire a room and that there was a pub in Durham. I don't know did you go to any of these?
No, I didn't go.
There was like a pub in Durham that the first team used to go on the drink to, and it had it's like a function room upstairs. They used to just fucking hire strippers and all that for us and everything. It was like fucking unreal.
Leave you to it?
Yeah, well, no, they'd be there, like, do you know what I mean? But they'd pay for all the drinks for the lads, and it was like, it was just class. Do you know what I mean? Like, having the first team, having that bond with you, and sort of like, you like looked up to them and they looked after you. Or if you ever see them on a night out, they'd be like, there's 20 quid, lads, get the drinks. And it was like a real, like, class feeling at the club. You know, like big times, and now it was just everyone was one. It was brilliant.
Were there more than strippers, these?
Couple of them were.
So you've ended up, the young lads sometimes end up getting on the stage, and
there's no camera phones in them days, or fucking Twitter and out, like, so you could just do what you wanted.
Performing, and obviously all the older lads just watching you perform.
Oh, they'd go in the middle and that, and it was class.
Obviously I wasn't there, but I remember
they go in the middle.
News travelled fast, it filtered down to our age group, and apparently I said on Mickey Gray's that Ian Barry, he had a chopper on him, and he was right involved apparently.
Yeah, he was hung like a donkey, him.
But he was only 5 foot.
Yeah, he was
5'6", 5'7", but he had absolute length on him. And he made the most of it.
Did he bring tears to this tripper's eyes?
Well, you're right though. At that time, the first team squad were class with with you lads.
Do you know what changed though? Moving to the academy, what they've got now, because when we were at the Charlie Hurley Centre, we were in like porter cabins. There was one head tennis court, so the first team would always like play with you on a morning. You'd have your dinner together. Whereas as soon as we moved to the academy, the young lads are about fucking half a mile down that way. They're training on a different part of the whole training ground of the first team. Whereas before, when we were young'uns, like Sacco or whatever, it'd be like, right, we need 2 players, someone's just got injured. You're on the next pitch and you'd run over and you're joining in with the first team, and it was like totally different.
Do you think that's why the club was so successful?
100%. Like, I know Quinn and Phillips probably at that time could have got in the majority of clubs, like in the starting 11s in a lot of Premier League clubs, but the rest of Sunderland's team, no chance. But the togetherness and the spirit around the place was unbelievable.
I remember going over in that head tennis court. Reedy used to always play with. Reedy, Sacco, Ricky, and I can't remember who else. We used to sit and watch. It was fucking hell on. Proper.
Oh, it was serious. Oh, it was really competitive.
But I was 14, 15 watching this.
Aye. Every morning we used to be on that. It was class.
Who was your idol in that squad? Like, who did you get a bit fluttery when you seen him about?
Fluttering.
A bit fluttering. I think I was on Mickey Gray's boots, and because he was in the team when I was a bit younger and going to the matches home and away and whatever, I always looked up to him, whereas some of the other lads, even though like your Phillips, your Quinns, obviously you idolise them, but they weren't there when I was coming through as a fan, if you know what I mean.
At Roker Park.
Like at Roker Park and that. I would say Mickey Gray was the one who I looked up to the most. Like,
was he a good tipper?
Yeah, he was spot on. I used to give us £100 at Christmas. Aye, class.
So that's 2 weeks' wages of it.
Oh, I was on £45 a week or something first 2 years YT. So you were over the moon, £100 like.
Fucking hell.
Eh?
Doing cartwheels.
Aye.
What did you room with in France then? Did you room with anybody or any of the...
Aye, David Bellion. Remember him? Went to Man U.
Somehow.
He'd, I think he just signed that pre-season, and we were like, he was like similar age to me.
So you weren't one of the big dogs, like making the teas and coffees and running the baths and all that?
Nah, they were all spot on. They didn't really like abuse us or whatever.
Wouldn't you? I think you'd have probably given fucking...
no problem.
Oh, Red Ox would have been out. Scented candles with
extras and all sorts.
Pipes would have been on.
See Quinn in his bed making like that. Get me some tickets for Newcastle away, Quinn.
How's the pace, Quinn? How's the pace?
Ringing the bell.
I probably would have done, like.
Not too rough, where is it, Niall?
I remember we got off the plane, and Reedy was like, right, quick change, we're just going to go for a loosener. It was like a training ground pitch just round the corner from the hotel. Just have a little jog and then we'll go start tomorrow. So we've gone, just shoved whatever on, shorts, t-shirts and that. Stefan Schwartz, he's still got his gear on from the plane, but he just didn't get changed. So we're just doing like a slow jog, and he's got his wallet, right? And he's just like put it down where everyone's put like the drinks and whatever, and just put it down. So we're about the second lap round and the wind's got up, right? I'm not joking yet. I don't know how much was in this wallet, but silly amounts. Started blowing across the field, right? Bear in mind, like you say, I was on, well, it might have been my third year then, so I might have been on £90 a week, but fucking, all this money's blown. There was me, Lummy, there was a couple of others. Well, like, try to climb up these fucking, there's like metal fences to grab these fucking 20s down.
Crystal maze.
It was like a crystal maze. Stefan Schwartz is pissing himself, thinking I couldn't give two fucks. Like, he's probably lost about 10 grand in the wind, and we're like, fucking, it was unbelievable.
Is it like I just see you climbing like the tennis fence? Just climbing.
It was like that, honestly.
You start the fans, please.
It was just 20s flying everywhere. We were like, fuck. He just laughed, carried on jogging, wasn't even bothered in the slightest.
Some player him and all, man.
He was.
So who else were coming through in that youth team?
There was Kevin Kyle, Tommy Butler, George McCartney, Proc.
Jamie Proctor.
No, Michael Proctor. Michael Proctor.
You just met Lummy as well. Would Lummy have been there?
Lummy was a year older than me. There was quite a few. Like
Alton Thurwell.
Paul Thurwell. was quite a few. Like
Like
Thur was like a year older than me, Lummy was a year older than me, but they were all similar sort of age group, all away with the first team, and yeah, a few of them broke properly in and played loads of games. Like there was quite a good group coming through. Like we used to win the reserve league every year and all that. They always had good squads.
When you saying you were injured and maybe started going out a bit, who were the main contenders in leading you astray?
McAteer.
Was he injured as well? Did he
was,
do his cruise shit or something?
I can't remember, but he was injured, and I remember going out with him quite a bit because he lived in Durham, so it was like halfway between where I lived in Aycliffe and Sunderland. But I used to go out with a few of my mates from home as well. Like I've still knock about with the same lads now, so it wasn't necessarily going out with the first team all the time, although we did maybe once or twice a week or whatever. It was mainly like just local and stuff. But
had Reedy signed at this point?
Yeah, Reedy broke through the year before, I think.
You know, if you ever wanted to go out, Reedy was your man.
Oh mate, he came to York on loan, mate, and he turned in some states.
I've got to ask you about a trip to Magaluf with you and Dino.
Aye.
Did you fall out with him or something?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Well, he was just. To be fair, when was that? That was my last.
Is he your wingman? Are you two like thick as thieves?
Me and Dino, bad combination. Very, very. Still to this day, bad combination. So we'd gone to Magaluf and we didn't go with Reedy, but he was out there. I think he was with Richie Ryan and a few of the other Sunderland lads. So we're on the strip, and me and Dino's talking these two birds, and all can hear is Reedy. Like he's, you know, Reedy, don't you? He's fucking cocky. Like all can hear is him shouting over, he's a fucking nice, you fucking wankers and all this. Like bearing in mind you're playing with him. So we were like, fuck off, Reedy. Like at first, just like bit of crack, isn't it? Next by, he rocks up again. You fucking minging, shouting to these birds, and like, you's a fucking good looking all, you's two cunts and that to me and Dino and that. We're like, is he fucking taking the piss here? Anyway, this kept going on, but as we were walking up the strip, and there must have been about 20 Sunderland fans seen Michael Reedy. So he's on his high horse now, they're all like, there's only one Michael Reedy and all this. So he's like, thinking he's the fucking man. So he's still going. So me and Dino had like one of them. Right, do we fill Reedy in or do we try and get into these birds? It was like it was literally a flip of a coin because it'd been going on for about 2 hours. This like, right. So anyway, you know what boomerangs? You go up down the stairs, right? So anyway, all you can hear is Michael Reedy and all this. Oh, fuck's sake! So walking down the stairs, and Reedy said something to Dino. You know what Dino's like? He doesn't mess about. Like he's like, keep going, mate. I'll fucking kill you. Bear in mind, like teammates, like, and so Reedy has gone. Like these Sunderland lads are at the front, not realising me and Dino played for Sunderland as well. Probably thought we're just giving him shit. These Sunderland lads, what you been like that for? So Reedy's gone to throw a punch over the top of these Sunderland lads, but like the worst punch you've ever seen at Dino, and then ran off. So that was it. That was like, fuck the birds. We're going for him.
Not literally, but
no. So fucking. Anyway, Dino's rapid. Michael Reedy's like he was quick. Silly fast, right? So Dino's got flip-flops on, right? Like I wasn't slow, but I'm not like their level, right? So anyway, Dino's ran up the strip, flip-flops off, caught him, flung him into a tree, and I've just come in and smashed him, like. And honestly, like, you know, you're thinking, well, probably wasn't one of your better decisions, like, do you know what I mean? But anyway, the next night, we're on the strip again. He's only started again, hasn't he? We're like, is this lad fucking real? Like, so we're in boomerangs again, and he's shouting over again. Anyway, we left it, and like 2 weeks later, we're back for pre-season. He's telling all the first team lads, fucking out of order, them and Magaluf beating me up and all this, like, and I'd never done that and all that. We were like, you fucking sure? But aye. Interesting trip that one.
What was he doing?
Was it frosty on the return?
Do you know what? I ended up playing with him at Grimsby. I get on sound with him now, and it was just like within a couple of weeks, it was just like fuck it. We're pissed. He was being a dick, and he deserved it. He did. If he was sat here now, he'd say, he probably wouldn't. He'd be going, you're fucking nice or something like that. But, do you know what I mean? Though he would probably sit here now and say, yeah, fair enough. Like I deserved to get a little dig. Like
you weren't the brainiest, Reedy, were you?
No. But how fast was he? Ridiculous. Shit off a stick, wasn't he? He came to Grimsby when I played there.
So when you went out on loan, did you think it's just a chance to prove yourself and then come back and carry on contending?
To be fair, it was like, I remember the assistant manager, Sacco, just pulled me, said, right, Notts County, the scout's been watching you, really likes you, wants you to go down there. We want you to go out and get games. You're not going to be playing here. You need to go out and play men's football, basically. So
were they doing all right then as well? League One?
League One. They're in admin at the time. So I said, I no bother, just went down. Didn't know what to expect because it's all right, like maybe trying to break in at Sunderland or playing reserve team football, but it doesn't mean that. Like, you're not playing for 3 points on a Saturday or
you're in the bubble
for a win
you
bonus or something that actually means something. So went down and obviously went to sign, but because of the admin thing, it sort of dragged on, and I'm sure I missed the first game of the season because they couldn't. Because of the embargo or something, I couldn't actually sign. I think made me debut about the second game, maybe. But
sign on loan, or were you
signed on loan?
I
signed on loan for the season, and then at the end of that season, there was talk like they wanted to like sign me permanently, but I had another year left on my contract at Sunderland. And to be honest, I definitely made the right decision because it was carnage that season down there. Like, so it was best for me to go back to Sunderland and just try and get my head down. And
we're not ready to leave either.
Where, Sunderland? Nah, not really.
Even though it might have been better, say if Grimsby weren't in admin, maybe best for your career.
Yeah, but like I said to you, I don't think until I was about 26 I realised I had a career. Like, to me, my career was going in and just training every day with a semi on, like, do you know what I mean?
So did you ever think to yourself, I hope they're a bit of a shitter now, Sunderland, so I can have a chance of getting in the team?
Do you know what it's like now, when you look at where Sunderland is now? If that had been when we were like 17, 18, 19, you've got every chance of playing every week or breaking through. But then, when I was 17, 18, 19, could I have handled playing for Sunderland? I don't think I could. I still don't think I could. I still don't think I could now.
What, like, for the nerves and the...
I remember playing, you'll have played in some of them reserve games when we had 40,000 there. Can you remember that? At the stadium.
Yeah.
We played Man U and things like that.
Newcastle, I remember playing Newcastle.
I remember playing Newcastle. They had like a proper away end in a reserve match. There was like 30, 40,000 there. And I'm running down the line, like about to cross a ball in it, and I'm like, all the fans are singing the Sunderland Boot Boys, and I'm thinking, I'm running down the line singing, we are the Sunderland. I'm just about to cross a ball in it. I'm thinking, I probably would have got sent off within about 5 minutes if I ever actually did play against the Mags. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think I could have, as much as I wanted to break in, I think I would have struggled at some of the big games to
keep your head.
Keep me head. I think I would have done.
How are you in them games? I know it's just a reserve game, but still 40,000 and you're playing.
Yeah, like if it wasn't
like,
the Mags, like the Man U games and whoever, not a problem. Like, I'd thrive on it. Still, if I was playing now, the bigger the crowd, the better. I loved it when I played in front of big crowds. But something when they played Newcastle, I just couldn't cope. Like, just got too fired up, I think. But that's the fan in me, not the footballer in me. Like,
I played in the one derby and it was Shearer's last ever game, and I think Julio smashed
4-1.
Yeah, he smashed Shearer, and I was from meet you away, and he's just complete. I don't know if it was one of them block tackles, but Julio's kind of half.
That was his last game.
Dark Arts.
Ended up with Dark Arts. He's been watching Birchie.
Did he score a penalty, Shearer?
I think he scored in it. Yeah, I think Chopper came on and scored.
Your odds were.
But I know what you mean. It was
just at a penalty.
No, I think he did. I think he scored a penalty.
Yeah, he did. I think it was his last, because he'd missed a few against Sunderland in his time, hadn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So it was, but it was just a weird atmosphere for me. Sunderland Newcastle, I just couldn't enjoy. I know we got beat 4-1, but even during the game, I was like, this is just.
It's like whenever I've played at other clubs, like whatever, and you're playing big derby games, I thrive on it, and it's like, it's what you play football for, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? To play in the big games, but I think when it's in you, it's hard to keep a lid on it. Like,
That won't just be too much.
I think so. Aye, definitely.
Did you play one game for the first team?
Yeah, I came on that last season. Came on at Ipswich away. I was on the bench in that a few times that season. On thereabouts, travelling all over and maybe just missing out. But I came on at Ipswich.
Was that Reedy?
Mick McCarthy.
That must have been special for you.
It was, but do you know what? It was only a couple of minutes. I know, like, people say, is that it? But to me, I've lived my dream. I played for Sunderland. So I can never take that away, but I just obviously wish it had been more than just like that little stint coming on as a sub, I suppose.
Or at home. At home would have been better, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Way up switching it.
Yeah, that's it. But
I think it's one of them though that yes, you played that one game, but it's coming through at that time, training and
being around it.
yeah,
it was just a class time, wasn't it? For the whole
it's something to look
club,
back on and
city,
go,
everything. It was
especially when you look where the club is now.
crazy, isn't it?
So who were manager at Notts County when you were there?
We skipped up at Grimsby because you said Grimsby were carnage, didn't you?
No, Notts County was the carnage. Billy Dearden, he signed me for Notts County. He was alright, like, it was old school.
Yeah.
Him, Gary Brazil was his assistant, but we just had, I got down there as a lad, Tony Hackworth, used to be at Leeds. He's from Durham, massive Sunderland fan, so me and him just hit it off first day. Fucking
But
chat.
you get that one, morning tone and just got your balls out.
that was pre-balls, that like. Him, Darren Caskey, remember him, centre midfielder, used to be at Tottenham.
You know him, don't you?
And had him as coach at York.
Aye.
What a fella.
Yeah, class.
Funny guy, innit?
So are you permanent now, or
Crazy.
did you go on loan?
No, this was my season when I went on loan.
Full
so,
season.
But yeah, there was like Cask, Fenor, Nick Fenton, Tony Ackworth. There was like quite a group of, like say, I'd moved to Nottingham. I think I was 19, 20, didn't know anyone. Single, new city. And then all these are like, oh, well, we go out Saturday after a match, we go out on a Sunday, we go out on a Tuesday after training, we sometimes go out on a Wednesday. I'm like, fucking hell. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to drink then, but I'd never been used to going out that much. And luckily, because I was always fit, I was luckily that I'd go out and I'd still be at the front the next day, and it probably caught up to me about 2 or 3 months into the season, I think. Well, I thought, do you know what, like, I'm feeling a bit fucked here in matches, and it was a bit too much. But the team spirit was fucking unbelievable, like.
So they were all experienced pros and they were used to it, weren't they?
Totally.
Yeah.
Like,
they've done it for years, probably.
I suppose in our era coming through, it was just the norm, wasn't it? Like now, I can't imagine any of the sides would be like, right, we're going out Tuesday after training. No one would do it now, would they? But then it was like Tuesday club.
Yeah.
Saturday club. I'd come home after a match sometimes on a Saturday. I'd drive back on a Sunday night ready for training. They'd be like, oh, come and meet us, we're in fucking Hooters, or we're in what? And I'm like, fuck's sake, it's like 10 o'clock at night, and then you're out on the Sunday night, and then it was just like, it was ridiculous.
So just got sucked into that rather than...
Got sucked into it. Like, don't get me wrong, the football, loved it, loved playing for a reason, like proper like games, and some of the experience. I remember playing at Cardiff away that season, and I'll never forget it as a young lad, getting like coins thrown at you and spat on in a proper atmosphere. It was like, it's good for your sort of like experiences to bring you through. It stands you in good stead for when you're later on in your career, aren't you? But as an actually off the field, yeah, it was just carnage. Like,
sometimes dangerous, isn't it, when you're front of the running, when you get away with it for a bit, because you think, oh, I'll go out again. It's fine.
I've never known it.
Nah.
So you sometimes choose not to, or maybe not.
Totally.
I went at the back because I was at the back. I weren't choosing to be at the back.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So if you knew you were going to be at the back, you might not have gone out. You might think, oh, I won't.
If you're getting
But
away
if you get away with it and you think, oh, let's be fine.
Yeah, I'll get through
do
it.
this.
But like you said, it catches up with you.
When you're 19 and that, and you're in a city by yourself with naught to do, when you finish training, it's not like now you've got kids and you go home and you've got stuff and you plan it. They're like, right, we're going to Hooters for dinner. Like, well, I've got nothing else to do. Okay, then I'll come. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, fucking.
They do nice chicken wings and all, don't they?
And then
Jeff was there, wasn't he? Jeff Whitley.
Aye. So then Jeff signed. I can't remember when he signed. Maybe 3 or 4 months into the season, he come, and he just took things up a notch. To be honest, like, great trainer, class on a Saturday, but as in, for the carnage and that group, that was just like one more extra bad influence to just add to the week. Like, it was just, yeah, it was mad.
Was he out every day?
Most of the time, but it was getting more and more like that with the whole group. If they could have gone out most days, I think they probably would have done. Like, but no, it was a good experience. Like,
Did you enjoy it then?
Loved it.
That's it. At the time, you do. You do.
So a bit Peter Reedy left while you were at Notts
So
County.
while I was in, Peter Reedy got the sack, and then Howard Wilkinson come in. Never got to meet him because he was only there for a few months, or however long he lasted. I don't know how long it was, but he came and gone before I'd even gone back. So then Mick McCarthy took over. I remember going back first day pre-season. I don't think Mick even knew who I was. But honestly, I've gone in and I think he's thinking, who the fuck's this? Someone's probably not told him I was away on loan like last season. But anyway, I come in, first day, I remember we'd done a bleep test straight away, and I'd come like second or something. So I could think Mick was thinking, he's all right. And then we went straight into this this drill, and it was no keepers. I remember there was 2 goals, like, I don't know, 50 yards apart, no keepers, and you weren't allowed to use your hands. You had to like take it in the face or whatever, like if they were going to have a shot, and just stand there and just take it, like. And we were just taking balls, like smashed in your chest, in your face and all that. I thought, it's fucking classic.
And for somebody that likes pain, it's a dream, isn't it?
But I got on great with Mick, to be fair, from that day. Like, he must have thought, he's taking them in the face here. Like, where some of them weren't into that. Like,
No, I think
do you know what I mean?
They kind of got out of it.
Nah, they weren't into that. But it was one of them. Like, that season, there was always someone ahead of me. So, like, Daz Williams would be playing right back. If he wasn't playing, Stephen Wright would be playing right back. And although I like playing centre half, they always never really seen me as a centre half. It was always a little bit too short, probably. So, like I say, I was always third minimum, and was just there or thereabouts in the squads, training with them obviously every day, but just never.
Did you think under Mick, like when you arrived back, do you think, there might be a chance here after you'd taken a few at first?
After I took a few, I was thinking.
After you fucking patch yourself up.
Yeah, I was thinking, fucking hell, he might stick me in here, like, but no, like I say, it's hard. Like, I think the club had signed Stephen Wright for $3 million.
He was on big money, wasn't he?
Daz Williams played for years for Sunderland, like class right back. You're always going to be down the pecking order as a young lad coming through, aren't you? It's just how it goes at the big clubs.
That's when you need a bit of luck with both of them getting injured at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
what about off the field? Had you continued the Notts County mould?
It's always going to be in me where, like, I can keep it right, but if I go out, I'll go off the rails. Like, the lads all say to me, is Sensible Simon coming out or is Frank the Tank coming out? Like, so when I'm Frank, like, I'll go off the rails, but generally that season I was all right. I just kept it right and was, like I say, I was there or thereabouts and thought, I've got a chance here. But Mick was spot on all the way through, and then at the end of the season I remember having a conversation. He said, look, I'm sure he said, like, I wouldn't mind keeping you, but you need to be playing football. You're not going to be getting the games here. And as gutted as I was, maybe that's when I thought, well, right, I need to actually fucking do something here, like, and try and play some league football. I was like 22 and already played 30 odd games, where some lads break through at 17, 18, have played 300 games or something by then. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them. Gutted to leave, but it's just life, innit?
Were you bitter when you left at all?
It was weird because it was like it happened overnight. So although I knew I was leaving, we'd had the chat about 3 or 4 weeks before the end of the season, but then we got beat on penalties in the playoffs, and it was literally, right, I'm leaving tomorrow now then. Been there since I was 15-year-old, and then all of a sudden, bang, that's it. You go in, collect your boots, say bye to everyone, and you're off. That's you never playing for Sunderland again. It was
a few more signatures before you went. And
yeah, stood outside, got the autographs on the way and that. But it was like, fuck.
That's like.
Yeah. I think I was crying on the way to the car that day. I was gutted, like. But I don't know. It's just one of them, isn't it?
So was the move to Grimsby already sorted? Did you have an agent?
Yeah, I had an agent, and he said to me, Chef Wed want you to go and train with them. The Port Vale manager rang me. He said, I want you to come down. There was a few clubs who said, we want to have a look at your pre-season, but no one actually saying, right, bang, there's a contract. Because I hadn't played that much. Like I said, I've been playing resi football all season. Like, they want to see you, don't they? And I remember Maud. Do you remember Gareth Maud?
Yeah.
So he was in with an agent. He basically said, like, Grimsby want to sign you. Come on, we'll drive down. We'll go and see them. So drove down to Grimsby, met Russell Slade. He basically showed me around the ground, offered me a contract within like 15 minutes or something. Got in the car. I thought, do you wait up, go and train in my clubs and now happening, or do you take a contract? And I thought, do you know what, fuck it, I was dropping down to League 2, but I thought, right, so
You can kick on again, can't you?
Yeah.
You could go in and do well.
I thought that at the time, so I thought, right, I mean, they played in black and white, like, which was a bit of a... My dad wasn't too happy with that one, like.
Happy when they're playing away?
Well, to be honest, I always said I'll never ever play for the Mags. Doesn't matter how much you pay me, I would never play for the Mags. And then I signed for Notts County and they're called the fucking Magpies, aren't they, in black and white? So there's that, they're black and white, and then I went to Grimsby and they're black and white, so it's not a good start, like. But no, it was, like I say, signed the next day or two after, and yeah, went down, that was it.
You relocate to Grimsby?
Yeah, moved down there. Yeah, it was too far to be going from, it was like 2.5 hours. So moved down there, and to be fair, it was a bit of a culture shock at first, going from Sunderland. Even Notts County wasn't as bad as, like, taking your own kit in, no dinners on, just the usual, like you get at, we're used to it now when you've been at that level, but at that time it was a bit of a shock to me. But the manager played like back three and I was playing sweeper. Never played sweeper in my life, but I fucking loved it. You're just cruising about, just passing it. I probably played like my best football I played in ages that first few months there. I loved that side of it. Like,
how was he, Slade?
He was alright, he was spot on. He loved us at first, and then I got a bad neck operation, I lost the feeling in my arm. I was like header and balls and that, and
wasn't off the horse, was it?
No, that was after that. The horse was after. But I remember I was going in to see the physio, saying like I can't fucking like move me head properly, or I'm losing the feeling in my arm. He was like, right, so I was getting rubs on it, and he was like, just don't train Monday to Friday and just play on a Saturday. So I'm fucking heading 50 balls on a Saturday, I'm thinking, can't even grab now. Walking around my head like this, the only comfortable position. Anyway, when I got a scan, I said, oh, your fucking discs popped out the back. So I had to get like an operation through the front of my neck. And I missed like 3 or 4 months that season. In between that, he's changed the formation and to a back four instead of the sweeper. Brought Terrell Forbes in, had Justin Whittle, and it went a little bit pear-shaped from there. I was like sort of in and out, whereas if I hadn't had that, I think I was flying like.
And how old are you at this point?
23, 24 I think I.
So still not quite the age where you're going to be a footballer yet?
No, still hasn't sunk in like. But nah, like it just, yeah, I was in and out, and then I thought, fucking hell. So, and then Steve Parkin.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, well, we'll get on to that. He used to come in and train us at Notts County one day a week. He must have known Billy Dearden. So he knew me from then, when I was on loan there, and he liked me. And he rang me in the January, said, look, you're not playing, we'll take over your contract till the summer. Come and play however many games and we'll extend it.
At Rochdale, isn't it?
Rochdale. So I thought, do you know what? He was up front and that, fair enough. I said, right, aye, champion, I want to play. Went in, he was good to his word. I played however many games. He gave me a new 2-year contract. But then that pre-season, it just went pear-shaped with him, to be honest. It was weird, like.
Is this still Steve Parkin?
Yeah.
Little man syndrome, innit?
Yeah.
So when he got Tony Ford there as well then?
Yeah, Ford, he was alright. Like,
played like over 1,000 games. He used to take the warm-ups, didn't he? It was like a 5k run for your warm-ups.
Yeah, but see, I don't mind that, because like I say, I like the running. Oof. But Fordy they were both alright, but I remember pre-season, you know, like I was saying how Ricky was bitter with me when I'd done well. I remember at the end of that season, Parky put a whiteboard up and he went, right, first day pre-season, you're doing this run. Can't remember what it was, 10 laps of fucking whatever. So you know, over the summer, get yourselves right, I'm going to be testing yous on the first day. I love out like that, so I knew first day I'll just fucking lap everyone like. Come in, I was like 2 laps ahead of everyone. He was in a right huff. Now you would think, or I would think, you should know your players to think, fair play to him, he's fucking worked his nuts off to come in pre-season and lead by example or whatever. He's in a right huff, like saying, "Oh, slow it down a bit, Rammers," and all that at the front, right? And then we went away pre-season somewhere. They give us a night out. Frank the Tank. To be fair, he didn't say you've got to be in by whatever.
No curfew.
I can't remember him saying a curfew, but we'd been out and about, whatever, in the nightclub, fucking steaming, blah, blah. But the next day we had a bleep test. Not a problem. So obviously the beeps are coming. I'm ahead of the beep because I'm just flying, like, because I was just that fit at the time. He's going to me, fucking wait for the beep. Like, trying to, like, show me up, if you know what I mean. Like, instead of saying, like, catch up with Rammers, like,
to the
look
rest
at
of
it.
the lads.
Like, if I was a manager, I don't know, if you know people, you sort of know how to get the best out of them. Now, if he said to me, "Rammers, you're flying," I'd have fucking sprinted a little bit faster again. But he's gone the other way.
He's pulling you back rather than...
You're ahead of the beat, Rammers, fucking slowed down. Like, do you know what I mean? And it just, I don't know what it was. But
take it personal.
We just totally didn't see eye to eye. And then...
So that sums him up, that. You can have a night out, but you've got a bleep test the next day. What a fucking twattish thing to do, that is.
But as a manager, you've got to love the fact that... Because he'll know that you'll like to drink.
He knows.
But you're still front.
He knows that I love a drink, but at the end of the day, right, don't get me wrong, if Frank the Tank had gone out and then I was spewing up and at the back of the run and hammer me, don't care, that's fine, fine me, whatever. I'm at the front, ahead of the beeps, because I'm that fit.
Yeah.
And he wasn't happy, like. But I remember at the start of that season, he was playing a little lad who was a centre mid, Brownie, he was about 5'2", at right back ahead of me. He wasn't even a right back, and you're thinking, fuck.
And he just gave you a 2-year deal and all, didn't he?
Yeah, give me a 2-year deal. And I was sort of like playing the odd game. And then he ended up, I can't remember if he resigned or if he got the sack and Hilly took over.
Was Hilly already there?
No, he got the Barnsley job, didn't he? Parkin get the Barnsley job?
I don't know. I think that was after.
Oh, is this his second time when he's there?
I can't remember, but I don't think he left for the Barnsley job.
Right.
I can't remember if he resigned or if he got the sack or whatever, but I remember him leaving. And Hilly was the youth team manager and he took over, brought Flicker in and fucking...
This is Rochdale. I don't think we said, obviously, you moved to Rochdale. We just said Steve Parkin.
But you liked him from the off, or he liked you?
Just hit it off, mate. He was class straight away. Brownie, who wasn't a right back, who was out of the team. I was in, played every game when I was fit. I don't know, and his assistant Flicker was fucking just class, just one of the lads, and you'd go in on the day, it was just like going training with your mates. It was brilliant. And we ended up, I think when they took over, we were in the relegation zone, and I think we ended up missing out in the playoffs by like 3 points or something daft like that, because everyone was just buzzing, like.
They do his inspirational talks and
he's crackers, like.
What is about when say if this is his first managerial, what he is mad then?
Do you know what? I've just thought of a fucking great story on him. So I can't remember if it was that season or the season after. We'd gone through a sticky spot where we'd lost like 3 or 4 games. So he said, "Right, lads, after training on Tuesday, I've got one of my old managers coming in, Dennis Smith. He wants to have a chat with you and all that." Now, not one of these lads will know who Dennis Smith is, but Dennis Smith was a Sunderland manager when I was like a kid in the 90s. I'm thinking, fucking get in, Dennis Smith. Right? Fucking big smudge.
You get the programme.
I've got the old programmes, right? Dad, I'll get them signed for you.
So I'm thinking, fucking champion. These like, the fuck's Dennis Smith? So anyway, they put the dinners on, we've gone in. There's a big whiteboard up like that over there. So we're all sat here, I'm thinking, I can't wait to hear like the stories and all that. 2 fucking strippers come out, mate. So I'm like,
where's Dennis Smith?
Where the fuck's Big Dennis? Fucking 2 strippers come out, mate, start dildoing each other and shit in the middle, and all the lads are like the squirting whipped cream on the lads and all that, and everyone's just having crack pissing themselves laughing, and it just like, mate, we went on like a run of like 10 games unbeaten or something after that, and you know, like, we just totally, no one expected it. And he would do things like that just so off the cuff, and you're like, last thing I thought going to train today was there's going to be birds dildoing each other. I was hoping for Dennis.
You just sat in Connell out in gum.
Do you know what I mean?
Shit, this guy.
Shite.
You promised me Smithy.
Yeah. So
don't do it to each other.
He was class at like just random man management.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, he got it wrong sometimes and went overboard on players, but other times, some of the things he'd done, it was him and Flicker were just like different class. Like,
Were you there when he asked to see your Grady's plums?
no, that was the season after I left for Bradford.
Belt of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good story. Like,
Were you mates with Joe?
yeah, Joe. I played when Joe made his debut, and he played a lot of the time at right wing in front of me. So great lad. We got on really well.
Took him under your wing.
He was never like. Well, to be fair, he came to Vegas with us, didn't he? But he was never one for the partying or like going out getting pissed or whatever. Like, he come out and obviously great crack, won the lads, but he was never one to go out and get steaming and stuff like that. Like,
What was the one when you got carried out in Vegas around the pool?
yeah, that was
Frank.
Frank.
I don't think it was you. It was Frank. Yeah.
Was this the lobster?
Joe didn't tell it. I don't think Joe spoke about it. I think you told us after.
Yeah, I don't think. No, Joe wasn't on that one. I'm trying to think. I've been a few times. Which one that was? That might have been me stag do. Was it? No, it was the one before. Aye. So basically, we'd been up all night, and one of the lads was flying in from Scotland. One of Dino's mates, little Dean. So Dino got into bed. You know Sam Russell, keeper.
Yeah. Rusty.
Aye. So me and him thought, fuck it, we'll stay up, wait for these getting in from Scotland. Like, so come out the nightclub on the drink. Anyway, went up, found little Dean. He's fucking got out on, mate, throwing $100 bills about on the bed. Like, what the fuck? He's like, I've just won 10 grand. He put $5 in a slot machine. He just won 10 grand. He was like, come on, we're going downstairs, drinks on me and all this, like fucking champion. So me, Rustler.
Frank, get your coat, we're off.
Fucking, mate, Frank's just getting warmed up at this point. Right, so anyway, we've gone downstairs, fucking little Dino's, drinks on me, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, before you know, it's like 8, 9 in the morning, little Dino's had enough, but me and Russell are just like getting warm, like. So I said, right, stick our shorts on, we'll just fucking go straight to the pool, man. So I went up, got all me dollars out of me bag, whatever, I can't remember how much I had in me thing, put them in my shorts, straight down to the pool.
What kind of nick are you in at this point? Are you
tipsy? But ready to kick on. And,
motor offer?
Yeah. Tipsy, bit ready to go.
So anyway, straight to the pool. It's like 9, 10ish. There's like people just coming out from breakfast and shit and whatever. Anyway, so like might as well get on the shots, eh? So anyway, a couple of sambucas and stuff. And there's like Yanks probably just had coffees or whatever, just chilling in the pool and that. I'm like, who wants a fucking shot? So there's like 4 or 5 of them, like, aye. So I'm buying all these Yanks in the pool shots. Anyway, similar to Stefan Schwartz, I've fucking just put my money on the side, steaming, blah, blah, blah. My money's just blew across the fucking pool. I thought, oh, fuck's sake, I couldn't believe it, mate. But anyway, right, get some
go
more.
after it?
No, there was no chance of catching it, mate. It just fucked off. And I was like...
It just fucked off.
You needed lummy with you, didn't you?
What's that?
You needed lummy with you.
Ah, you do. So anyway, got some more shots. By this time, all the lads who were out with us the night before have turned up to see, like, what the fuck is going on here with Frank. So I was at steaming, right? I actually thought I was doing the front crawl, but I wasn't. I was on dry land, right? So I had one arm in the pool, like, laid down, but I thought I was, like, in the zone. I was, like, thinking I was doing the front crawl. I was like, he needs to go, like. So then I'm in the pool. I remember getting some more shots, and it was nearly going under. And security come and got us, gives a fireman's lift. Fucking went up, and Dino's come up and like obviously checked that I'm all right, like. But got fireman's lifted, mate, after doing Zambucas.
Carried out of the pool at 10 o'clock.
You must
No,
get the
this was like dinner time now. Like I got a proper stand ovation. See, the next few days, everyone's high fiving me all the way. Everywhere I went in the Luxor, they were like, yeah, man! I was thinking, who the fuck's that? Couldn't remember. My last recollection is like one arm swimming round the side of the pool in the Luxor.
Some guy, Frank! You're some guy!
Aye, fucking just high fives everywhere, mate. It was unbelievable.
Oh, God.
But I don't think Joe was on that one.
Nah, I did ask him, but
aye, that was a good trip.
Where did you know Rusty from then? Grimsby?
Rustler signed
Rustler, Grimsby.
Rochdale.
Rochdale?
Yeah, he came to Rochdale. Hilly signed him.
did you play with Lambert then?
Yeah.
Was Lambert there?
Oh, mate. When you look back at some of the players that were at Rochdale...
Undr there as well.
Yeah, well, the first week when I signed, our 2 forwards were Grant Holt and Ricky Lambert. And then Holt, I think he got sold that week when I went in that January window. Then you've got like Glenn Murray, Undr, Jordan Rhodes. Honestly, like Chris Basham was there, who's Sheffield now in the Prem. Some of the players, unbelievable when you look back, like, for that league.
You had a good game against Grimsby, didn't you, when you went back? Scored 2.
Well, I don't score many at all, but I scored for Rochdale a week after leaving Grimsby. We played them. I scored an overhead kick. Fuck knows what I was doing up there with one of them.
Good finish, Frank.
And then the next season, I scored 2 against Grimsby, so 3 in 2 games.
Celebrate.
I can't remember, you know. Probably. I'm just not used to scoring. I don't know what I'd done. Couldn't get my Tezzies out in them days. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, and that was weird. Like, I suppose you see it all the time, people like going back their old clubs and scoring, but that's strikers, not fucking right backs. 3 in 2 games, like, you know what I mean?
How would you have been if you'd have drawn Sunderland in the cup and you'd have scored in 90th minute to knock them out?
I don't know.
It's a good question.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Or would you have missed on purpose?
I don't know.
You kicked on though that last season at Rochdale, didn't you? To Bradford be knocking on the door.
Yeah, we got the playoff final the season before at Wembley, got beat, and then the next season we finished, I think it was 5th or 6th again in the playoff. So the squad was doing well. I had a really good season again, but then players, it's like anything that you start getting picked up, clubs were watching because the lads were doing well and they're all getting moves here, there and everywhere. And I was in Vegas at the time and found out, I think it might have been after that pool incident, I found out Stuart McCall wanted to sign for me. So when I got back, like, to me, I would say, like I said, about that time in my career was when I thought I need to do something here. Like, now, no disrespect to Rochdale, and I absolutely loved my time there, but if we were top of the league, bottom of the league, you're always going to get maybe 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 crowds. At Bradford, when Stuart McCall wanted to sign me, and obviously for what he's done in the game, and you're thinking, fucking hell, he wants to sign me. But thinking, I'm going to be playing in front of 15, 20,000 maybe. They were in the Premier League not that long ago. They could go through the divisions. It was like, fucking, can it turn this offer down? Like,
were they in League?
They're in League Two.
League Two.
So although it was like another League Two club, like same as Rochdale, in my eyes, I'm thinking I'm going to a club where I was at a good age.
Big club.
Massive club. I can't remember how old I was, maybe 27, 28 or something like that. I thought, coming at my best years, you would think now we could go up. Like, so to me, it was a no-brainer. It was tough leaving Rochdale because I did love my time there, but just for that reason, just to kick on, I thought this could be the next step.
You had to go.
I don't think anybody can look at it and say, why has he gone Bradford from Rochdale? You know what I mean?
I know.
No disrespect to Rochdale, but you can't think, why has he gone there?
But it's funny, like, how things pan out, and Rochdale got promoted that next season. I left, and Bradford, we struggled. So, like, in hindsight, if I'd have hung on for that one more year, I would have kicked on and gone into League One, and you just don't know. So, but I still don't regret it for an instant. I loved Rochdale, but signing for Bradford 100% was the right thing to do.
You do the same again.
I would do it in a heartbeat. Stuart McCall's the best manager I played under by a country mile. Country mile. So for me,
I would use Sunderland managers.
Anyone, as a man and as a manager, without a doubt.
He hasn't really featured on here, has he? Mainly because I don't think we've had any lads on that have played under him. What was so good about him?
You know how fickle football is, right? So to me, it's like, you have a good game today, you're the best thing since sliced bread. You have a shitter on Saturday, they'll just hang you out to wash. And he's loyal. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know where you stand with him. Whenever I was fit, I played. He loved me. And like I was going about Steve Parkin before, know your players. So I would be at the front of the running and Stuart would be like, fucking keep up with Rammers. Now, Stuart knows that I'm a loose cannon as well, but he knows when it needed to be done, that he made me captain of the club because he knew this is what you fucking should be doing. Set an example. And that's all I've looked for is a manager who was like that with me. So straight away he was like that, and I just got off to a fly. I just was playing out my skin because he just gave me that confidence. Like
the right manager for you.
Totally, the right manager.
Parkin could have done that when he's digging you out for not making the beat or getting before the beat.
Totally,
you could have kicked on just from that bit of.
It's mad because you shouldn't really. It's like you're at certain clubs and you wonder why the fuck was I shite at that club or why was I class at that club, and the littlest things I think can trigger that. Whether your teammates like you, whether your manager likes you, whether the fans are hammering you. But at Bradford, I just felt as if all the lads were like sort of looking up to me as if to say, fucking hell, he's flying, he's playing well, the manager.
Just going to improve your confidence.
And it just like, I don't know, I just was just in my zone. Like,
Did the lads see Frank though?
Not initially. Do you know what? Frank got put away in the cupboard for about 6 months. Like I was just, that focused, I was just like, I just wanted to kick on, like I was just proper in the zone.
Did Stuart McCall get the sack?
No, not really. It was one of them. Like there's legends at football clubs, and then there's like him. He's got like a stand named after him. Like, and I think it was more. I don't know if he had a chat with the chairman, and we weren't in the position where we were hoping to be, and they sort of said, "Let's we sort of like go separate ways."
These are German ones.
No, this was before them. It was Mark Lawn was the chairman then. But I think Stuart just made the decision himself. Yeah. I don't think they would have sacked him, no chance. So he left.
Was that sad for you then to see him go?
I was devastated, absolutely gutted. Obviously at that time I didn't know that I was going to end up signing for him again down the line at Motherwell. Yeah. But at the time you're thinking who's going to come in now, and it was a bit sickening, like, to be honest.
Were all the lads feeling like that? Or
yeah, totally.
Everybody liked it.
That I know of, yeah. I think we just... I know the budget got cut, and to be fair, for the size of the club, the squad we have wasn't good enough. Like...
To get out of League Two?
Yeah, we were just a steady away. We were never going to go down, and we were probably never going to even get in the playoffs. We're just like...
It's not good enough, is it, really?
Bobbing along
Bradford.
Yeah, and that's not Stuart's fault, and that's just the way the club was at the time. Finances predicted that, and that was just how it was.
Do you think he knew that, and that's maybe what made his decision? The fact that his legacy at the club and
might get tainted a little bit.
Might get tainted. He hasn't got the tools to. He hasn't got the money.
Possibly.
And it's only going to, like worse. You said, taint his reputation rather than crack on.
Yeah. Who came in then?
Peter Taylor come in after that, I think. He was spot on with me. Got me in straight away. Said I want you to be captain, and Stuart's old assistant Wayne Jacobs stayed on as Peter Taylor's assistant. So whether he'd had a bit of crack with Pete and said, look, Rammers, blah blah blah, I don't know, but he came in and we got on great.
I always find that strange, me, when assistants stay with a new manager.
Probably because you can't afford to sack him, innit?
It can be good and bad though. See, if the last manager loved you or whatever, I'd say that he still loves you.
As a player,
but some lads want a fresh chance, don't they? And then they're sort of still tainted with what the last manager maybe thought of them and whatever. I don't know. Can go two ways. That like.
I just think it's from the assistant's point of view. You kind of sometimes stabbing them in the back. You know, off your pot. I'm all right. I'll stay.
Oh, the manager was being potted.
Yeah. But he liked you.
Yeah, he was sound. Got me in. Made me captain, but then unfortunately after that I just had a bad run with injuries. I had 2 hip operations, just couldn't seem to shake it off, couldn't properly get back. Every time I came back something else would go, because you know it's like, you do your hip, then all of a sudden that calf goes, or that ham, it's like you're overcompensating every time. And the type of person I am, I just pushed myself too much to get back, because like I said at the start, because I was flying and people were looking up to me and I was in my element in my career, I wanted to get back to that, and so
rushed it really.
Totally, to the point where I couldn't even clip a ball from me at that wall. It was that weak, but I'm like, yeah, I'm fit. Yeah, I'll be able to play. I'll be able to train. fucking...
Mentally, you're right, but your body can't.
No, I wasn't even mentally right. I was
You
neither.
knew fine
I was
well.
definitely not mentally right because I'm thinking, if I've got to ping a ball here, I'm fucked. Like, seriously.
And
Like,
so was it blatantly obvious in your performances?
do you know what? I must have blagged it a little bit, or just got away with just taking throw-ins for a few games or something like. Because I stayed in the team, but I just chalk and cheese. Like, if you'd have watched a game of me when I first signed for Bradford to after I had my hip operation, you'd be like, nah, that's not the same player. I couldn't like whip a ball in. I couldn't hit a diagonal to a forward. Couldn't do that because I had no power or like nothing in me from my hip. So
The physio's got to half pull you in there and say, look, you're not quite right.
do you know what? Like, it's a catch-22 because the team wasn't doing well. So Peter Taylor's probably saying to them, look, when's Rammers fit?
Yeah.
And the type of person I am, I'm like, I'm fit Saturday, gaffer. Like, when I'm blatantly thinking I'm a fuck. I remember towards the end of Bradford, under Phil Parkinson, I'm in the bogs before the match, taping up my groin in case I've got to do like side foot passes and that. It was that week. It's mad. So people don't see like that side of things and what you go through because you want to play so much, like, you know what I mean? But I just didn't matter what I do. I was doing all the rehab. It just couldn't seem to just get back. It was years later where I all of a sudden managed to do it and back pinging balls and doing whatever.
Were you fit when Phil Parkinson come in?
I think I was like still struggling. I was playing the odd game, but I still wasn't. I was probably playing at like 70%.
Yeah.
I was seeing passes and thinking, I've got that, but then thinking I better not. I'll just square pass it inside.
So the whole game changed then?
It had to. They didn't know that. It was mad. Like how I got away with it when you look back now. But like the old me would have said, right, I'll just ping into a striker's chest. Whereas now I'm thinking, right, just go out to your midfielder and let him switch it. Or
So you're doing a job without really...
I was doing a job and relying on my defensive abilities rather than what I'm doing when I get the ball. So I'm still winning my headers, my tackles, blah, 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 organising or whatever. But the other side of my game, which I was used to be better at, I couldn't do at that time. Like,
That frustrate you?
oh, mate, honestly. Totally. Still does now. Like, when you look back and you think, like, there's nothing better, like when you're playing, than when you're on fire and everything you're doing is coming off. And from going from that to breaking down again, or Rammers can't train on tomorrow, he's fucking tweaked his calf or his hip's gone again. That's when I went in a bit of a bad place, to be honest, around about then. That's when I've had a little bit of depression and stuff through my career, but I think that was at time because I was used to all the, you can rely on Rammers and he's going to be leading by example, to he's our captain, why is he in the fucking treatment room again? And I couldn't get my head around that, how people were like doubting me. And I felt as if people were sort of, is he still not fit? And I couldn't get away from it. So I'd go to training, everyone, the staff, everyone, when are you going to be playing again? Like, as if like they needed me back, do you know what I mean? And the gaffer, are you fit yet? Then the physios, right, when are you going to be back this week? Or I'd come home, my dad, are you fit yet, son? I go to Tesco to get me fucking tea. Are you still injured yourself, cunt? Like, do you know what I mean? I couldn't get away from it. And I remember one night, like, it just all built up. Phil Parkinson was a manager. And sort of semi-frank was like, right, fuck this. So drove home from training, went straight to the pub in Aycliffe, and I was with one of my mates, hammering the vodka. And I remember there was a few, like I'm going back to Newcastle fans here, and the ones that I know from where I brought up know not to push it too far, and I would never push it too far. There's like a mutual respect, whereas if I go into Newcastle and they don't know me, it could go off. So we're in the Aycliffe, and there's a few lads in there who know me, but they don't know what frame of mind I'm in that day. And I'd lost the plot, like, and one of them starts singing like this fucking Newcastle song, mate, like fucking about Andy O'Brien or something. Total, like, instinct, I just got this pint glass and just fucking chewed it, mate. Just started chewing this pint glass. And I know you're thinking, what the fuck, but it was just, I don't know, just, I'd lost the plot, like, fucking chew this pint glass, like, what the fuck you was going to do, like, to these mags? Mate, pub got shut. It's like blood all over the table and that. I was
Obviously
like,
from your mouth.
oh yeah, I was fucking eating glass, mate. Why I? So I was just like, fuck it, just lost the plot basically. So the next day, I rang up Nick Allenby, he was like the fitness coach at Bradford. I said, mate, I think I'm just going to wrap in. Like, I think I'm just going to retire. I said, sick of breaking down my injuries. I've had enough. I was fucking eating glass last night. Blah blah blah. It's not fair on me missus. And
What did he say to you when you said I was eating glass last night?
there was a pause. Like, he went. I don't know if he went.
Is he winding me up?
Can you repeat that again, Ramis? But he just went right. Spot on. To be fair, he went. Leave it with me. You're not coming in training tomorrow. I'll ring the gaffer now. So he must have rang Phil Parkinson. So he said, right, gaffer said, come in tomorrow, but once everyone's left the training ground, just come in by yourself at like, whatever, 4 in the afternoon or something. So I've gone in training, and different class, Phil Parkinson, he went, look, Rammers, he said, I understand you're having a bad time. Didn't bring up like about me fucking eating glass, right? He just said, I know you're having a bad time.
Is all your mouth cut here, like?
Oh, I couldn't fucking eat for about 4 days and that. Nah, it was fucked. So he goes, I'll tell you what you need. He said, get yourself down to Lilleshall for a couple of weeks. Break from everybody here, all your family, the class with the rehab, get yourself down there, different voice to the physio at the club, sort yourself out. Which I thought was spot on of him. At the time I was thinking, do I need to go to Lilleshall? But do you know what I mean? So anyway, went down there, by myself, bit of space. Straight away, the physio at Lilleshall got me on this machine. All of a sudden, it was like, I don't know, I've been looking for all these answers for this long. Why do I keep breaking down? Got me on this machine, all of a sudden my power started coming back, like, just for these exercises I was doing.
The couple at Lilleshall,
Yeah.
Man and wife, weren't they?
Yeah, the woman. She had me on this, I don't know what the machine is, but basically it's like a rope thing where I was doing my kicking motion, but it was on like with a band sort of resisting against it. Whatever it was, all of a sudden by 3rd or 4th day I'm thinking, I feel confident enough to probably ping a ball here. Like, it was just, I don't know. Anyway, cut long story short, went down there, week or two, came back, was fine, started training again, built up that. I played like 20 odd games in a row towards the end of that season. I thought, like, I'm back. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Piece of life.
Were you half raging with the physio at Bradford thinking, why the fuck did you not have me doing that?
a little bit, and a little bit of me, a bit of him, but also a bit of myself, because I'd never learn. Even to this day, like, if I go for a run now, I'm like, fucking step on it. I have little conversations with myself. I used to be like that then. So I shouldn't have pushed myself too far. I've just had an operation and I'm thinking I'm back playing next week when I'm out for 3 months. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So I'll take responsibility as well. But yeah, like, you can only do what you're advised to do, can't you? I'm not
put your trust in these people, don't you?
I'm not a physio or a doctor or whatever. But I played the rest of that season, and then he pulled me. He said, right, I'll meet you in Yarm. It was at the end of the season when you find out if you're going to get a contract or not. I said, right, champion. Went to Yarm with Bully, your mate Lee, and went in. Bully went first. He said, Bully, there's an out for you, mate, sorry. Bully sent me in. He went, right, there's a contract there for you, Rammers. We want to keep you. Want you to play next season, blah, blah, blah. I'm fucking champion, I'm back, like, do you know what I mean? Get myself right, let's kick on again. He said, we'll be in touch. Went on all day. Nout. About another week by. Nout. So you don't want to be too keen, do you? But I want to know what's going on. Didn't have an agent at the time. I just dealt with it myself. Rang him. He went, oh, I'm still waiting to hear back from the chairman, Rammers, about my budget and all that. Like, that old chestnut.
Yeah.
Anyway, another week's gone by. And this is like, you're 2 weeks off going back for pre-season, here, like. Anyway, he's gone, the chairman's come back. He says he'll offer you 50% wage cut because of your injuries. But I wouldn't want to patronise you with that offer, like, so let me go back to him and see what we can do. It was just like, be a man and just say, Rammers, we don't fucking want you, and that is not a problem. Shake your hands and I'll move on. It was all like that. Oh yeah, we want to keep you. Fuck off. No, you don't. So then in the meantime, I found out I was out and someone, I don't know who it was, said, oh, they see the trying to sign Stuart Parnaby right back. I know Stuart Parnaby, do you know what I mean? Not a problem. Just tell me we want to sign him and fuck me off. So then about 3 days later, they had pre-season fucking testing. I thought, I'm going to go down here. Like, went down, lapped the full team. Just thought, I'm going to make a point. Went, because obviously on about my fitness levels and injuries. Lapped them, didn't even get out of breath. And I walked in, he was like, fucking hell, Rammers, you're flying and all that. I said, aye. I said, Stuart McCall's been on the phone. They're going to Portugal on Thursday. He wants me to go out and train with them with a view to signing for Motherwell. So he went, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to fucking go there. I've never spoke to Phil Parkinson since.
That was it.
And it ended on that.
That was it.
He's got form for that.
See, but like, when they offer you half your money, they know that you're not going to sign it. So they're basically releasing you, aren't they?
He wasn't going to even offer me that. That was a bullshit excuse of why he hasn't come back with me with an offer.
They know that you're not going to sign that.
Of course they do.
Yesterday, he done exactly the same. When Danny went on trial at Bolton, and he gave him the exactly same shit. So I'll call you today. Didn't ring him for 3 days,
and then
said, I'm not even going to embarrass you by telling you what they've offered.
Passing the buck.
Totally passing the buck. Whereas just be a man about it. So Rammers, even if he just said 2 weeks later, do you know what, I've had a rethink and I don't want to give you a contract now. No problem, don't leave me in limbo. I had a baby coming. 2 weeks later, my firstborn was going to be. No club. Fucking, where's me? I've been injured most of the season. Like, do you know what I mean? Just be honest with me.
Bearing in mind where you've been in your head as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just be upfront with me.
Months previous, that could send you the wrong way.
Totally.
You're on the flip side of that when you sip it like bad luck and good luck. If Stuart McCall wouldn't have been in a job, you might have been fucked, mightn't you?
That's what I was worried about at the time.
So you're lucky that Stuart McCall's at Motherwell in a job. He likes you.
Well, there's another thing. So we're on about like fate and things like that. Motherwell just qualified for the Champions League, so I had nothing to do with them getting there, whatever. But my debut for Motherwell was in the Champions League, so I've gone from League 2 football with Bradford struggling mid-table bottom half to playing against Panathinaikos in my debut. It's like fucking hell.
That's some league, that like.
So there you go, Phil. Do you know what I mean? It was one of them. And that's
you ought to send him a programme.
But do you know what I mean? I wouldn't have any issues with him if he'd have just been up front with me. But no, like initially I went there he wanted to have a look at me to train. Went to Portugal, done well, and then he signed me. But yeah, we got beat 2-0 home off Panathinaikos, and then we got beat 4-0 over in Panathinaikos. So it wasn't class experience playing away there.
Double fuck you to Phil, couldn't it?
Yeah, so we done that, and then because we didn't qualify, we went in the Europa League, played in Russia against Krasnodar. Jibril Cisse was up front, and just class experiences. Like,
did you enjoy playing up there? In
best time in my whole career.
Was it
Scotland?
Did you miss your let them move up?
Yeah, we literally had it, and 2 weeks later I signed for Motherwell. So we were straight up there. We lived in just a hotel at first till got somewhere, and yeah, by far the best. Everything, the best. Obviously, teaming up with Stuart again, his assistant Kenny Black was unreal. The lads, all like just everything. Like all the missuses used to go out together. All the lads used to do stuff. It was just like an amazing club, amazing times.
I mean, the thing with Motherwell and a lot of them Scottish teams up there that are in the Prem, with all due respect, they used to sign lower league players, didn't they?
Totally.
I mean, Elliot Freer went up there from Forest Green, and then they're playing in front of fucking 50,000 at Ibrox.
Yeah.
And whatever Celtic play.
I mean, they're still doing it now. Peter Hartley went up to Motherwell and done really well.
Yeah.
Peter probably never played in Championship, League 1, League 2. Went up there and he's probably a fucking hero, isn't he? He's left now, like, but.
No,
we finished second that season.
We finished second 2 seasons in a row, aye. So
is that when Rangers were in the...
Rangers got demoted for whatever went on with them, and we finished second behind Celtic 2 years in a row. So some going, like when you're coming up against clubs the size of your Hibs, Aberdeens, Hearts, clubs like that, to finish second 2 years in a row was it was unreal.
Someone asked about Aberdeen away.
We needed, what do we need? We needed to win on the last day of the season to finish second. So I was in the away end with my crutches, actually, in with the Motherwell fans, with a couple of other lads who weren't in the squad. And we scored.
You have a kit on?
I didn't actually that day, no. It wasn't bit by any horses either.
Other than Motherwell.
Was that a choice just to get in with the fans? Like, could you have been in the...
Yeah, probably could have been. I'd see, because like, I love all that. I prefer to being in the mixer, like. And the whole squad went up, even the lads who, like I say, I was injured, who to support everyone, and because we knew if we won, we'd finish second. And we scored, and I don't know, it was about the fucking 94th minute, I think, to get the win. Crutches gone.
Were they?
Fucking, it was just
Too much
bedlam. It was absolutely mayhem. It was class. And then, but like going back, like Stuart and that straight away that night, all went to Magaluf together. Well, not all. There's only like 4 of us out the team who had the balls to say, right, fuck it, let's go. Like, but like Stuart and that, and just the team spirit was incredible. Like,
what happened at Motherwell? Because it fell apart that next season, didn't it?
Yeah, well, so Stuart left, and they brought in one of my old teammates from Notts County, Ian Barraclough. So I got sent off on the Saturday, and he got the job on the Monday, I think. So straight away you're off to a bad start.
Yeah.
You're like, so he's come in. Bearing in mind, he can remember Frank the Tank from Notts County, and I've just been sent off for literally hitting James Forrest about fucking neck high, like one of the worst tackles you've ever seen against Celtic on the Saturday. So he's come in, like, he was like straight away on me, like questioning me, are you settled down now, like, or something like that. I'm like, man, I've got fucking 3 kids, well, 2 kids like then, married, blah blah blah. And he's like, aye, your tackling hasn't improved or something like that. I'm thinking like, this isn't a good start. Like, first day he's on me, like. Anyway, done my suspension, started playing again, was playing really well, and then the transfer window opened, and he brought in, like, must have brought in 10 fucking lads. Don't know how many loans you're allowed to get in a window, but he brought the maximum of lads in who, they weren't really, some of them were decent players, but some of them were nowhere near good enough, and some of them weren't even asked about being there, to be honest with you. So we're like in a relegation battle, and he's fielding a team full of loan signings who are not going to be there at the end of the season if we go down.
Yeah.
And some of them were nowhere near good enough. And then he's got, like, I was on the bench, he's got lads who have been there who's played, when we finished second 2 seasons in a row, bombed out the team, in the stands, and you're thinking, like, I'd fucking run through a brick wall for this team to get us up the league, and he's putting in, I don't know, 19-year-olds who's played like fucking 2 league games in their careers, who they either weren't good enough or their heart wasn't in it. And we literally, end of that season, we just scraped staying up, like, through the playoffs.
Is that when you played Alex Neil's team in the?
No, we played Rangers in the playoffs. So leading up to that game, he's I'm thinking, I need to be playing, like, Ibrox, 50,000 there, and then the home leg, like, it's the games you want to be playing in. Do you know what I mean? You want to be out there, stand up and be counted, and didn't entertain me. And then one of the lads who was on loan, playing centre half, doing shape on the Friday, he forgot his boots, like, not even bothered, like, do you know what I mean? Still played, so I've gone in to see him. I said, like, are you fucking taking the piss? Like, you're playing him, and he's not even brought his boots to training. And I've been at the club for 3 years now, and I've fucking would run through a brick wall for the club. And he was like, yeah, but it's a team I'm going for, Rammers, and blah, blah, blah. As it happens, we ended up beating Rangers, and we stayed up, and he released me like 2 days later, and that's fine, that's football. But it was pissed me off how he treated the lads who deserved a bit of respect, and who actually wanted to be at the club, not your loan players who've got no intentions of staying and fucking off. So it was a shame how it ended for me, because like I said, the first 2 years, happiest I've ever been in my life.
So where was your head at when you finished at Motherwell?
I was still bitter, really bitter, and I still am now, because I didn't want to leave, and I honestly don't think I would have even retired from football now if Stuart had still been there. Yeah, because I would have been fit enough to have carried on, but he bombed me out, and then it was a bit similar to when I left Bradford, and you're like, right, where do
What do I do? Where do I go?
I'm not getting any younger. The offers aren't going to be flying through the door.
Stuart McCall's not got a job.
Stuart didn't have a job. And then it was a case of like before, such and such will let you go and train with them. I think Blackpool wanted me to go and train pre-season with them and a few others. And Gateshead offered me to go down and train with them. So what I thought is I'll go and train with Gateshead because I can come home, just go in and see how it goes basically. Went in and trained with them for a week or two. They offered me a contract, offered me a couple of contracts, and then ended up signing for Gateshead.
Just you're happy to be playing?
It wasn't the right decision, to be honest. It was, I don't know.
How old were you?
34.
There's a lot of travelling in that league as well.
Yeah.
About 34. And I think I knew after about a week, I fucked up here, like.
What do you think you should have done?
I should have maybe had balls and trusted my ability to go to Blackpool and maybe earn a contract or see what else came up. Or I know it's easier said than done, but when you've got kids and responsibilities, if it was just being me, single lad, you just take risks, don't you? You think, fuck it. But by signing for Gateshead, I could move home. The kids in the local school where we're from, blah blah blah. Like went in, met the lads, all class lads from round here, and I thought, right, yeah, let's give this a go. But then, I don't know, like I say, after a week or so, I just thought,
It's one of
I've
them,
gone from playing at Ibrox and
Yeah.
stuff like that, in big games and playing in them European games and to Gateshead when there was like 300 people there and travelling 7 hours away. And no disrespect to Gateshead, but my heart wasn't in it.
It's one of them, innit? If you say you went to Blackpool and signed a year or two there, you can still drop down to the conference, 36, 37, and play there. Then you think, fair enough, this is where I'm at if I want to do that.
Yeah.
But if you're still thinking I can play in the league,
I know I could have done. But then within 2 months of being at Gateshead and my heart wasn't in it, I sort of slipped my levels down to the point where if you'd have come and watched Gateshead, I probably would have been one of the worst players, I would say.
That's
I was
a
just
massive contrast in your personal drive as well, isn't it? When you're talking about Motherwell, that you really cared, I'll go for a brick wall. Yeah,
Even
totally.
going into Bradford and doing that run.
Yeah.
First day, just to say fuck you.
Yeah.
And that drive gone.
I just lost it completely.
not lapping anybody on the training pitch.
The first week or two, I was fit as fuck because I thought at that time I got myself flying that summer thinking, right, I need a new club. So I went into Gateshead and I was on fire. But then after a month or two of, like you say, my heart wasn't in it. It's
Where were you at mentally?
fucked. Like I just didn't want to go in. I just wasn't enjoying. I was already thinking about retirement when I shouldn't have been thinking about it. But in my head, I'm thinking, where do I go from here? If I cannot play well for Gateshead, who the fuck's going to sign me from here? Like, so that's pretty much where it went.
But you obviously played. Your performance was based on your drive.
Yeah, I'm like that in life. Like if I've got something in my head, that's it. Like I'm just all or nothing, 100%.
Is that you and Frank?
Frank is fully committed. Like I am. He is all or nothing, last man standing. But I've got to. I don't know. I've just got to be in that frame of mind to give me all. And
Do you finish at the end of the season then?
yeah, so at the end of that season, Malcolm had left halfway through, then they brought Neil Aspin in and he pulled me at the end of the season and I just said to him, I'm going to retire. Like, I don't think he would have offered me a contract anyway because of how it panned out, but I just said, I'm going to retire. And I don't know, you look back on things and was it the right decision? Probably not, but then where do you go from there? So, and I remember South Shields ringing me about 2 weeks later saying, we want to sign you. I went and met them and I thought, nah, fuck that.
Same again.
Yeah, I need to be motivated. Like I say, when I signed for Bradford, I want to play in front of crowds. I want to play in big games. That's what you play football for. And no disrespect to anybody who keeps playing till they're 50 and over 40s football with their mates and whatever. That's everyone's each to their own. But for me, to get me,
You need the fire.
I miss that competitive side of things. Like since I've retired, it's like now what the fuck? What do you do? Like,
What did you do?
Renew your season ticket.
I've done that, but then we're shite now. So like, I just think I'm gonna
It's even worse.
That sent me that way.
So now you're involved in the cars and stuff, aren't you? Selling your cars, or you?
Yeah, but that's sort of sent me the other way a little bit as well. Like I would say at the minute, I'm in a great place. I think lockdown was good and bad for me. So basically with lockdown, the first month or two, drinking a lot, fucking playing street bingo with the neighbours and all the other shit that goes on in the streets and eating shit and whatever. And I remember one night I was just steaming in the kitchen, arguing with my missus and what have you. I thought, you know what, fucking, like I said to you before, I know when to rein it in sometimes. And I thought, you know what, fuck this, I need to do something. And I've clicked on now, I need to exercise to be mentally in the right place. Like I heard like Tyson Fury's interview a couple of weeks ago, and he said he knows to be mentally right, he cannot not train. And I thought, when I retire, fuck it, all my Christmases come at once. I'm going to go every Sunday match, going to get pissed on a Sunday when my mates are on the pub, going to go on holiday every month. Eat what I want. I was buying t-shirts 3 sizes too big, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going to put loads of beef on. I did.
If you want any, mate, I'll lend you some. I can drop you some down, no bother.
But honestly, I thought, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm not bothered. Like, I totally lost respect for myself. I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to go off the rails. And it was all right for a few months, but then you realise, do you know what? That's a slippery slope. And luckily, at the minute, it's probably the best frame of mind. I get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, I go training. Just puts me in a good frame of mind, like.
For the rest of the day? I
need to, because if I've got nothing to stimulate my brain or nothing to focus on, no structure, I'm fucked, like.
It comes up a lot, doesn't it?
Totally fucked.
The exercise as well being the best medicine.
Yeah.
To keep everything.
So was it a few months that you went off the rails? Was it only a few months when you said when you were drinking and buying all these shirts, going the matches and stuff?
No, I would say that lasted a year or so, mate. I was in the car business. I was doing that for a year or so. Just blowing silly money and going on holidays all the time, going out with my mates. And then, like I said, sometimes just a penny drops with me. It would just be one incident, one day, and I'm like, nah, you need to pull your finger out. And then it's been a bit in and out, but lockdown, like I say, that day, and that's been, I don't know, 3 or 4 months now. I've been training nearly every day. Like,
what can you pin it on that you felt like? Was it dropping out of football, or was it not having drive? Yeah,
I think there's a few things. Like, I pin it down in football when I used to feel as if I'm letting people down, or when, I don't know.
Was there a fear when you finished?
A little bit. But also, I think when I was playing football, going back to this exercise thing, obviously when I'm injured, I'm not exercising. And I was maybe not eating right because I haven't got a match on a weekend and boozing and nothing to stimulate my mind because I've got no game to look forward to on a Saturday. So you've got all this time and you've got now to, like, I don't know, aim for. But at the minute, I'm in a class routine. Like, don't get me wrong, I went out at the weekend. Great night. Me and my missus on the drink. But I know the next day, I was back running again.
Did he turn up?
Frank was out, big time.
Yeah. The missus got this alter ego.
Nah, she's not too bad, to be fair. She's not even really a drinker. But she knows, if I'm in the zone, she's like, just let him crack on.
See in the morning,
like,
Frank.
Yeah, I'd like, as long as I'm not hurting anybody or doing any harm, I'm just going out and just letting my hair down. And then now, whereas before that might have led to 2, 3, 4 days, then eating shite in bed on the 5th day, then depressed as fuck and not talking to anyone for 3 days, shouting at the kids. Now I might have 2 days at the most.
Yeah.
But I'm back training. I'm back in a good place, and I don't know. I suppose you learn as you go along, don't you? Like what's good for you.
The stuff that Johnny and Mark Crossy have set up with the getting out and walking and just clear your head, best medicine and all that. I think it's true. I've never heard anybody say, I went to the gym, I feel like shit.
Oh, I did. I used to when I used to.
I asked him to come because I do go to the gym in Leeds, and he says it's a long way to travel to get tired. I thought you're right.
A long way to travel to get tired and stiff. Lovely offer, Chris. Lovely.
But it's there. It's true.
I think I'm lucky. I live near the beach, so like getting up on a morning and going on there, it does sort your head out. Like,
yeah.
Puts you in a good place.
Yeah, it does.
I suppose that realisation, mate, when things need to change. You say that fear is fears the fire.
Yeah,
Either,
I think so.
either burns your house down or cooks your tea.
Before I never knew.
Good analogy, Chrissy.
I like that.
Excellent
Why
work.
that's the first time we've heard that.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
No. I think before I just didn't know what I needed to do to sort my head back out. Whereas now I know I need to exercise.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
And it's working for me. It might not always work for me, but it's working for me.
That's it. There'll be
Well,
people out
one of the
there.
lucky ones, aren't you? Then really, not the lucky ones, but you've managed to sort it out without really. You've self medicated really.
It took years though for me to click onto that. I think I'm going back. Well, it must be 10 years when I was at Bradford. Do you know what I mean? So for 10 years I've been up, down, head loss, back. Do you know what I mean? Highs and lows, injuries. But it finally took this year for me to click on. When I'm having them injuries and I'm down, I'm not exercising. So it's just knowing what you need. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the simple things as well, though. As you know, we talk about, you know, that we're talking about it and other people are talking about it. But some simple things like when nobody was talking about it, resonating with how you were feeling at the time and thinking, do you know what? I'll go for a run.
Yeah.
And it might help.
Yeah.
Where before, when nobody even spoke about it, you might not even make that connection that it might help.
Yeah.
Go the other way, wouldn't you? Fucking
Yeah, go down the
back
pub.
in bed.
Yeah.
I'll go to the pub.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Up another bag of Doritos. Fuck it.
So I think that's the thing when people say it's good to talk. Make sure you talk about it because it helps other people. People listen to this going for. Yeah,
You don't have to be eating glass before you go for a run. Personally.
Yeah.
I've had some shite in my time, but I don't think I've never had a pint pot.
Don't do it like. it's not the one.
I could probably get through it with these nationals and all. No problem.
Well, cheers, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All the best going forward.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And is there any chance we can do one of these with Frank?
Yeah, I'm sure.
A bottle of vodka.
Episode
a couple of hours.
Episode with Frank, fuck it.